Hi, so today we are going to talk about USF versus FIU. And I'm going to tell you the truth in this video. I'm going to tell you why I low-key kind of liked USF just a little bit more than FIU. Alright, and USF is University of South Florida. I especially went to the main campus, which is in Tampa, and then FIU, Florida International University, located in Miami. Both of them in South Florida, in Florida. Don't get me wrong though, I appreciated my experience at both campuses, and there is also the factor of the pandemic happening while I was at FIU. So the second year of me being at FIU was impacted, my experience was impacted by that. So I'm not really going to weigh that too harshly in my comparison of the two schools. My major at USF was Business Analytics and Information Systems, which meant that I was under the College of Business. I changed my major a few times, but that was the major I had the longest when I was at USF. Pretty sure I had that for at least over the span of a year. And then at FIU, I was doing Latin American and Caribbean Studies. That's the one that I graduated with, and I love it. And that was in the Department of International and Public Affairs. So I want you to know that, because I do think that your experience at a school will be impacted by the department that you're in. I did mention a little bit about that in one of my videos. I'll link it or make it pop up here somewhere, so you can check that out to understand why. But I just want to mention that because being in the School of Business at USF and then being in the International Public Affairs School at FIU, it definitely impacted my experiences there. But I will say that I do believe I was in the best department possible at both USF and FIU for when it comes to my major. I wouldn't have stayed my majors for so long if the departments weren't good. So check out the other video if you want to know more why that's important. But yeah, for this comparison, I wanted to note that. Let's go through the timeline. At USF, I lived there on campus, and yeah, that's where I started my entire college experience. I started my college experience at USF, and my first year there, I was living in the communal style, which means you share with a roommate, and then you share a hall with other people who are sharing with roommates, and you all share the same kitchen and bathrooms together. I kind of like USF more because of the situation that was going on. Living on campus will make you like a school more. When you're living on campus, your classes are 15 minutes away from your bed. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about really specifically timing your sleep. You could go to class with minimal hygiene on the minimal, still do some hygiene, but minimal hygiene. So that was the thing about USF. I could just roll out of bed and walk straight to my class. But there's of course more to it than that. USF is considered to be a commuter school, meaning that most of the students who go there, they do drive there. However, I do feel that there's a difference between USF and FIU, because FIU is also a commuter school. However, when I was at USF and I was getting involved with all of the events and activities they had on campus, I noticed a lot of people who were participating in these events, they were also commuter students. If anything, sometimes I feel like I was in the minority being an on-campus student, which I was, because that's the minority there. But you're at a place with some people, and then they say, oh, they gotta go home to like beat traffic, and then you are over here with no car, or you don't really got like nowhere to go because you just like your bed is like, again, like 15 if not 5-10 minutes away from wherever you are on campus. You see that difference. And so I noticed that, like, I noticed sometimes I'll be with people like all the time, and they'd be like, oh, I gotta go home before the traffic, I gotta go home before traffic. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But then at FIU, for the year pre-pandemic, I wasn't really involved in events, and I don't even think that was just me. I think it was just like a a general thing. Just like the vibe at FIU compared to USF is completely different. At USF, and I think this stems all the way back to orientation, for the tone that those people set for the whole year. Even the people there, they're just more perky. They're more like really about giving you that college experience and like, yeah, let's do this, dude, like that type of like community type of feeling stuff. But at FIU is just okay, here's talking about orientation, because like I really do think that sets the tone for the type of school you're about to spend the whole year in. From like orientation, it'll be like, okay, your advisors are here, there. Here are the resources in case you're ever in trouble. You need to graduate in 4 years, so we can make sure that we report all our students graduate in 4 years. And then that's it. And then you just walk through the motions of like of the essentials of what should be in orientation. And then you start the year, and then you're doing your classes, rush home, do your work, or go to work, and then do it all over again. But at USF, I actually had a little calendar book full of events that I can go to every single day if I even felt like going. Like, it wasn't like, oh, if I don't go to this event, I don't have anything else to do for the rest of the week. I had multiple events I can choose to go to if I ever get bored, or if I don't feel like studying, if I want to procrastinate studying. That's crazy. So I think like that's the thing. Then at orientation with USF, there's also the factor of you having to be on campus for like a day or two from when I went for orientation. So, but I don't really think that factored into like how orientation was anyways, because the orientation, it was like the people there, they were very perky, of course, like that is their jobs, but they had you feeling excited about being a bull. Like they had you feeling excited about taking advantage of all these opportunities and resources that you have on campus. I feel like there's just two different tones between the two schools, even though they're both commuter schools. And yeah, like they're both commuter schools, but yet for like FIU is like more of a typical, like stereotypical commuter school. It's like, oh, yep, here goes the grind again of driving to class and then driving back home to beat the traffic. But then at USF, it's more of a tone of like, yeah, even for those who are for those who are a commuter, yeah, let me go drive to class early to get some good parking, let me go to class, and then let me walk around a little bit and see what there is to do, and let me check this out, and let me check that out, and let me go here with somebody, or let me go there with somebody on campus, and then I'll rush back home to beat the traffic. There's a huge difference in that, so that's really the big difference. Just how the tones are, and then also like the way people are excited about going to that school. I think FIU people do know how to have fun there, but you have to really find it. That's the case with all colleges and universities. You have to find the activities there to really have fun. But at USF, they handed it to you on a platter. So there's that. And of course, again, I do want to note how my experience is affected by living on campus at USF and then living off campus at home with my parents when I went to FIU. So for FIU, I was like at home, traveling, commuting to school, but USF I was living on campus. Yeah, I do have that like that factor that changes between the two, but really when I was at USF, I really didn't notice how like I had a lot of friends who were commuter students, and I didn't even realize that because like it was like they were able to, not able to because like they were busy people too, but we were having fun equally. We were having fun all the same. We were able to go to the rallies together. We were able to go see games together, And then there are some people who, yeah, they lived off campus, but they live in like student housing nearby, and they were able to have fun still. Or they did live like more far away from the campus, like where they were actually like in parts of the city where they were raised in, where they're from, or where they like went to high school in. But we were all still able to come together at these events and have a good time. And that's like a really like cool thing about USF. You'll really get your college experience from there. Whereas when I was at FIU, it was just the grind of trying to get your degree. Go to school and, you know, do some hours at work and get your degree. There's also the factor of me working when I was at FIU compared to USF, but still FIU was more like, and I know of course people who went to FIU also, because I'm from Miami, so I already like knew people who were going there, even though I wasn't like with them on campus, and it's all the same vibe. Like we all have the same vibe of gotta get the degree, gotta finish in 4 years, that's it, you know. So it didn't even like on campus. USF, they have tons of places for you to sit down, take your time and study, which is how that's the difference in them being above average commuter school, or rather a commuter school that cares about their commuters even though they're not paying money for living on campus. At USF, they have places everywhere for you to sit down and study. You could sit down anywhere you want on campus and pull out your books and get comfortable studying. You could sit down on a bench anywhere. You can sit down on a comfy, nice chair everywhere on campus, in every building. There's like even like tables like in the middle of like the old buildings where you can sit down and study and have your a quick lunch there, you know. Whereas at FIU, which this really annoyed me, you know, if you're gonna commute all the way to somewhere, you want to like, you know, get comfortable once you're there. But FIU, it didn't really feel like it had comfortable spaces for commuter students to relax, like other than like anything that's in the main big like student center building, you know. USF, I can go in any building and I will find a place to relax and study. At FIU, you can only go to like the student center place to like sit down and study, whereas everywhere else, even if there are seats at other places, it's just like not right for the vibe of studying. It's just like good for the vibe of like eating something quick before you go to class, or just like scrolling on your phone through social media. Whereas at USF, you will be able to sit down, relax, and be able to study, to, you know, have not have fun studying, but, you know, be a student, you know, be about that. So and I think that I'm pretty sure that was intentional. USF intentionally did that to like, you know, make it easier on their commuter students when commuter students do have to be on campus and take classes all day, and they want like a place to or spots to sit down and study and eat before they go back to going to the next class, and so on and so on. Right, so with FIU, it's you go to class, you sit down and you learn, and then you get up, leave, or go to the food court, get food, go to the bathroom, go to the next class, and then hurry home before the traffic. That's the main difference. They're both commuter schools, but USF is just really like more good. If you do want to go to FIU, especially if you're from Miami or from like South Florida, I would or just like, yeah, Florida, I would recommend doing your first 2 years at your local community college and then transfer those credits into FIU. Just save for the cost, and also like if you could just like be more comfortable wherever you are, I would recommend that, because like once you get to FIU, that's like the ultimate like last thing I'm gonna have to say. Once you get to FIU, it's just really a vibe and culture of, let me finish to get my degree, I need to graduate, that's it. So I wouldn't recommend feeling like that all 4 years.